哋係叫高調高手，低調高手，唔係高調高手。I'm guessing 你哋係比較內向啲。So if you think of yourself as a 內向嘅人 can you raise your hand? Okay, 3, 2, 1，內向嘅。
Half.
Yeah, okay, half. Okay, that's
half.
pretty good. Okay, that's pretty good. Now, 我都係一半一半。咁有啲人咧認為我係非常之 extrovert。你睇下 Sean's like really no way。但係我可以有啲 relate 到嘅。咁我就第一個問題 just 想理解你哋嘅背後嗰個心理嘅嗰個嘅狀態。Were you guys very happy not to play in front of a crowd?
I think it makes no difference for me because
okay.
I think it's more on the arrangement of kind of like who will get involved in different parts or etc. and some equipment if we perform live. So yeah, it's I'm fine with both actually. Yeah.
Henry, Bryan, Sean, which one did you guys prefer? Being in front of people, or if your introverted self is like, yes, no people, yes.
I think it's pretty much the same for me. Like, yeah, in terms of like, it's still live, and so if you make a mistake, it's gonna be like people will still see it.
Everyone can still hear it.
Yeah. I guess like as the instrumentalist, like I don't know anything about the technical aspect, so
just play.
For me, I think it's just the same. Yeah, just play and just get it done.
Great. Well, let's actually talk a little bit about like being introverted and being in a band. Because when I think about David Gay, or when I think about Rex and Chad, right? They're like, whoa, yeah, they're so excited, and they're like, yeah. And then you guys are like the cool guys in the back, I wonder what it's like. Like, what is it like playing with a bunch of extroverted people? Like, what is that like for you guys?
I think most important thing I want to play music is to serve the church circuit. And nowadays, I really not very focused on how to show off myself or to play something I like. I mainly focus on maybe you can encourage the audience and let them have interest to seek God or use some talent given by God to play some music to encourage or positive thinking.
Yeah. Give them some encouragement. Yeah, give them some encouragement. That's really great. I think Evan wanted to say something.
Actually, it was Jessica who introduced me to these talented people, and actually very lucky to be working with these extremely talented people.
They are very talented. Yeah. I tease them about being extrovert. They're great. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, it's I enjoy being a accompaniment actually, and even an accompaniment, there was so much work to get the accompaniment right, because there are there were multiple guitars. Bryan play the drums and percussion, and I play the violin. So to cooperate with one another, this is the challenge. This is a challenge, but it's also it's also very fun to be working with others, right? So I like our band. Yeah, it's interesting.
I like your band too. Something that I wanted to go back to what Bryan said, because I think this is really encouraging to me what Bryan said, right? I asked Bryan, like, okay, how do you kind of get into the mode or something? And he's like, I just focus on encouraging people and serving God. And like, I've been friends with Sean for so long, seeing Sean like loosen up and get into the music is like the coolest thing to watch. So I guess the last thing I wanted to talk about really quickly, and thanks for talking, you guys, is like, how do you guys loosen up? Because I know it's a little bit scary, when you're playing, and especially when you're playing YouTube Live, all the arrangements got to be perfect. But what's something that helps you loosen up? Maybe it's easier for like Rex and Chad go, David's like, yeah, I'm just doing my thing. But I know that you guys need to take a little bit more effort and more concentration to do that. How to loosen up? Like, what helps you to relax and find that courage to express yourself completely and vulnerably in your music?
My personal secret before going on stage would be taking a sip of alcohol, actually.
Oh, really?
Yes, admittedly, scandalous, right? Oh, wow. But admittedly, you didn't get to see me do this in this passive performance because I wasn't there. I wasn't there in person. I feel like, you know, these questions that you just threw at us kind of could be stringed together into one large narrative. You know, how I keep my cool is by being the more low profile musicians of the band. So back when we were trying to organize a actual live performance, I was playing the bass, and everybody knows how much attention the bassist gets. So I think, you know, being in that position, being in that sort of introverted musician role, really allows me to you know, put a little less pressure on my shoulders. And and you know, in comparison with some of the singers, lead guitarist, and even the drummer, because there's only, you know, the drummer,
there's only one drummer,
ripping it up, being very flashy. And I feel like, you know, I could comfortably melt into the background and just do my own thing. Coming back to the YouTube live versus an actual live, it's very easy to pick out any mistakes you play on your instrument, and that actually is very pressurizing for a musician, because, you know, in an actual live setting, you have the audience, you have reverbs in the room bouncing your sound off. It gets a little muddy, and you can kind of get away with making certain mistakes. But no, there are so little variables here on an online live show that you know, the fact that your error margin is so limited, it puts a lot of pressure on you. So another thing while playing on a live show is that the stage is really bright while the audience isn't lit up. So when you're on stage, you actually cannot see the audience. And that kind of relieves me. And you know, you could just play pretend, tell yourself that you're playing alone in your room, and it's gonna be fine.
That's really cool. Henry, do you have any tips that you get into the groove? Anything that helps you get into the groove before you play?
I don't know. I feel like I'm just nervous throughout the whole thing.
Wow. It takes a lot of courage just to get, you know, just to be there and to do it well. And you did a great job. You did a really great job. Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today on a crossover between Sing Stroll and Live Music Connection. It's about time that we kind of head out. But, you know, you guys, all your talents and gifts, even though you guys, you know, maybe label yourself as introverted, but I felt really encouraged. And what you guys did was so great. Your musicality was so great. And just the heart behind, just like what Bryan was saying, the heart behind it, wanting just to serve God was just wonderful. It was just really encouraging. And I felt very encouraged by that. So thank you for joining us, and look forward to hearing some of the music that you guys play in the future.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Peace. Peace. Bye.